just as pretty as a magnolia in May. Seems like only yesterday we were both little girls dreaming our fairy tale dreams.
Do get kind of upset because, and it's not like people buying houses, it's the fact that, oh, people have these wonderful opportunities and I don't have anything except I'm like about to just be like, give me some money and give me a tent. I'll just sleep outside. I'm tired of the runaround of not getting help, and then I was a victim of a violent crime. My brother's not buried, and it's just like there's so much going on. Like, I deserve to get this help that I'm not even getting help. It was just too crazy. Yes, I do, because I see other people, right? And it's not people that it's not people that I know. It's other people that I see that weren't even help, that are getting places to live and I'm not getting anything, It's just disappointing. I just want to leave and not come back. I'm just being truthfully honest. I just don't want to live in this city anymore, in this state, in this country. Like, look at the president that we got running it. Look at all the crimes and everything going on. Of course, yeah, the media runs fake news, but I can't do it. I'm mentally tired. I can't move from one place to another and then try to figure out, like, I just can't. Having to move from one place to another, from another, and then being told, oh, we'll help you with housing, and then I don't get no help, and then being told, oh, I'll help you with this, and then, oh, we don't go do things to help me, and then it's just like, well, here I am. I'm just being, I don't know. If people say they're gonna help, at least they should help. If someone says they're gonna do something, at least they should do something. My dad does not have $1 zillion. What does he have $1 zillion? You mean 99.99 zillion? Because he's the same dad that keeps getting arrested for having substances, which I don't even know if he has drugs. To be honest with you, I think it's because my brother's gone. He's taking it pretty hard, but then again, I don't know. I'm taking things hard, like, I'm going through a lot, and it's just difficult. I'm trying to keep positive and be happy for people and be like, yay! But then in some instances, it's just bothering me because it's like, I'm stuck here with nothing. I have nothing. Like, it's not getting anywhere, and it's not getting better, and it's getting worse, and it's just like, I see people that, were not even victims of crimes getting help faster than I am, and I'm like, oh, you're getting a place, you're getting this, and I'm getting nothing. Like, it's just being shitted on, and all of the crappy circumstances I have to go through. I'm just gonna get off before I'm just like going through it. I'm really going through it. Yeah.
Are you serious? Vai. Vai fazer o check-up. Acho que eu ia. Ó, bate aqui tamanho. Ameaça vai dar. Help me. You want me to ask her? I don't know. Please, have a seat. Better go to the Gabis yung ano, susunan sila rin. Gumagawa ko gaya kapag pag-ibig ako di kaya, betul ko di kaya. Yung nasa ano ba? Ako, pamawag.
I was wondering what that noise was, but it's the gong thing that she's making. He's talking to himself. That's what he's doing, he's talking to himself. Money, so thank you for the rose. The lip combo, well, it's sort of coming off, but I usually use eyeshadow, funny enough, and then I have like, they're supposed to be lip liner lipsticks, but it doesn't work like that, so I just use a lip liner. So yeah, I don't have a boyfriend. And so basically I had went live and I said, well, she made a song about me, that's really weird. And she called it Sophia, which was crazy. I guess her moderators manipulated her into thinking that I had said some stuff about her. I don't know what it was. It was a whole thing. Her moderators ended up in a tent outside, basically homeless, living out of a tent, which I'm not shaming anyone because that's sad, but they were talking about my living situation while actively being in a bad living situation themselves. But anyways, well, they weren't actively at the time. They ended up in a situation. Anyways, so then what happened was that I had brought it up. MG had made a video basically saying that it was not about me, even though it very much was. And I pointed out in the song where it was about me. And it's just so weird that you don't think that I know. I forgot about this. When people mentioned the Sophia song, like, I forgot about it until you just mentioned it and it came to my head. Oh yeah, that song's about me. MG literally made the song about what I was going through and tried to say it wasn't about me. I'm like, who else's name is close to Sophia and goes through that? Make that make sense, but oh yeah, funny. I never said dark-skinned women have nothing to do with people insulting me. It trickles down to race. When you make fun of someone's looks that pertains to their race, because I am a black woman at the end of the day, you need to realize the same person that you're talking about their looks is the same type of insults they say to darker-skinned black women, which needs to be addressed because I am light-skinned. Light-skinned people are put on a pedestal because people fetishize having babies with black men and making light-skinned babies because... Well, this was when we had our apartment, and then she's like, hey, so she saw me and I was talking to her. She's like, so my sister wants to go on a trip to Vegas and she wants to take us and she needs someone to house it. She'll pay you $100. And I was like, okay, shoot, $100, easy money. So yeah, I went. And I had like Netflix, because they had Netflix. They had a nice house. The dogs had their own room. The whole house to myself. And I was like, this is cool. It was like 4 or 5 bedrooms. It was a 4 or 5 bedroom house. And it was pretty cool. Because they had just moved in. And they bought the house. And she was like, yeah, you want to house it? I was like, sure. They had the Fast and the Furious. Thank you for the gifts. They had the Fast and the Furious, like, RC cars that came out. A bunch of them. She's like, yeah, she's taking that to her relatives for Christmas. I'm like, they're rich. They're lucky because these people worked on the base. They would go to the casino every day and, like, spend $200 at the casino every single day. I was like, bruh.
Skincare can start in the laundry room. That's why I always recommend all three clear for sensitive skin. Perfume is to keep up with my self-care routine and is gentle while
That's when her sister took us to the movies. We saw the, what was it, the Maze Runner or something like that? I didn't see the second movie. I should watch that. But like Maze Runner or something, that's what we saw. I don't remember what it was, if we were gonna go to the movies or something, but she's like, that's not my mom. She's fine. My friend never cooked either. She would go out and eat all the time. Like she would either eat at home or she would go out. She's like, if I cook, the fire department will show up. Man, I was like, bro. And then I remember one time she said one of her exes, they got into an argument when he was leaving. She said, here, take your lunch pail. And she threw it out of him in the head with the lunch pail. I was like, jeez. I think I told her, I was like, poor lunch pail. I'm not lying. I mean, she used to live by the zoo. I remember this was sad one time, and I forget where it was. I went to meet her because we were going somewhere. And there was a tarp by the bus stop, and she's like, there's a dead dog under there, because her daughter kicked it and didn't know there was a dog under there. And she's like, she kicked it and she saw the dog. I was like, oh, poor dog. I don't know how someone could dump a dog like that, but... They were really good. She was always like, she was like my parents too. What's up, when are you gonna have a kid? I was like, Lord, don't be like my parents. I mean, she did have grandkids though. No wonder why you probably alone and depressed. No wonder why you probably alone and depressed. But you probably alone and divorced.
I don't know how Tophiachu could talk about anybody being depressed when she literally said that she was diagnosed with clinical depression. Which for one isn't true at all. She is not depressed. I'm pretty sure she is not depressed. She doesn't care what anybody says about her at all. The only time you see her get actually pissed off is when people call her out for her stupid shit. Because she doesn't like to be called on shit she actually does. Does not care about people with depression. She does not care about anybody else but herself. And she only cares about her needs and her wants. Ew! I couldn't say she is depressed, but I can't say she isn't depressed because I understand, through everything she's been through, you could be depressed. But also, I feel like she's using that as an excuse to make people feel bad for her again. Because when her brother passed, everybody felt bad for her. Everybody felt sympathy for her because she was going through a hard time. Her family was falling apart and everybody felt so bad for her. But now she's just using that to her distinct. Every single time you see her in her life, she brings up her brother's passing for no apparent reason. She's using that as a cash cow so she can get money off people. And people aren't noticing that. And she thinks that she's going to continue getting money off people, but people are just going to be calling her out for all her bullshit.
And the only person who was giving him shots was the one that was going to the house. And if you want to talk, so let's talk about it since people want to say that I messed with his medication. First of all, the VA over-medicated him. So you want to talk about messing with someone's medication? Why would you continue to allow someone to receive medication when it's hurting their stomach because they had too much medication from the VA? That's what happened. The VA gave him too much medication because they didn't want to deal with him, so they was giving him a high dosage to put him to sleep so they wouldn't have to deal with him. Because he would call my mom and say, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep all the time. That's what these people do in these facilities when they don't want to take care of patients that are difficult. They give them too much medication to put them to sleep. That's what happened. So then it was still in his system. So when he was in the apartment, it was getting worse. It was affecting his stomach because he was taking more medication on top of the medication he already had. So then what happened was that on top of the medication he was taking, they said, well, you need to let that clear out of his system before we give him more, because he could have died having too much dosage of medication. Like, he could have died. Why did it go here? Well, I don't give his medication. Someone goes and does that. He wasn't functioning normally. Actually, he was on his medication, but he wasn't really normal because he was still kind of hollering. So that's another issue, is he was loud and he was hollering. Even the neighbors know that. The neighbors know that because the neighbor called the cops. Well, at that time when the neighbor called the cops, it was because my dad was hollering and he wasn't on his medication, but no, he literally he was still talking out loud to nobody while on his medication. The medication was really not working. Of course, it was keeping him somewhat sane, but he got into that, like, he was working just fine, doing a commission job, a desk job. And then what happened was that he was doing just fine, and then he quit because he couldn't be around people. With his mental illness, when he can't be around people, he just quits. Because that's part of his mental illness. He doesn't like to be around people. He does have a history. Yeah. I don't need to explain myself, but people just want to believe whatever they want. He has someone coming to the house to administer his shots. And the thing is that he had somebody going to administer the shots, and he threatened them, which is why we had that raid, which we didn't know. Because we were not on his phone. We don't have access to his phone. He had access to his phone. Whatever he does is his choice. So now, because of that, he can never have someone come to the house and give him his medication. He had to go down there and take it. And because they gave him too much, they said, let that wear off, and then we'll put him back on the dosage. And because of that, well, he thought he didn't need it, so then he didn't take it. Then we ended up back in a situation where he wasn't on his meds, so. So, yeah. Oh no, it went out because I had to do the settings thing. Nobody was calling me. It's settings. I swiped out of the app for the settings thing. Oh, thank you. So, I'm good. How are you? I tried to do space buns. It just didn't work. Okay. The state paid $6,000 for his service, which was not even $6,000. It was $5,100 and something, and that does not include a burial. And yes, my mom does want him buried next to his grandmother. So I'm going to respect my mom's wishes of how she wants her son. If she wants him to be buried next to his grandmother, then that's what's going to happen.
Thanks for watching. Look forward to more videos. Anyway, bye ho.